Okay, Graeme, this is a new rig which I've designed. I don't know if you remember, we did the Whack-A-Noster a little while ago. I've designed this new one and it's called a Tony's Tackle Special. And it's catching me a few fish at the moment, it's been pretty good. You take it off one of the winders. It's a free hook rig. You've got springs at the top which keep it all nice and smooth so that when you clip down it doesn't come off in mid-air. That's the basic thing the springs do. It just cushions the cast, keeps the bait on well. What I tend to do normally is once I unravelled it, I normally put the hook on here, just run my fingers down it a couple of times because this is amnesia, and it just brings it out lovely and smooth. I don't know if you can see that, because when they come off the winder, see how that's coiled like that, and then once again same thing, just hook it on something, run your fingers down it 2 or 3 times. This is £18 at £20 amnesia. It's brilliant for snoods because it's got no memory, as we've been through before. Same with the third one. Nice and sweet.
And this is going to be more accentuated on a cold beach, isn't it, Tony, off that winder?
Yeah.
So you just get some... I've heard of people, they've drilled a little hole in the edge of their tackle box to put that hook in, and then the friction of your...
something like that.
Your friction of your fingers softens it,
see
doesn't
how
it?
that's hanging now? It's perfect.
Yeah, straight down, straight down.
You've got an impact lead on the bottom, which is essential. Everything clips onto the impact lead. Once you've baited up, you'll clip that onto the lead itself. Your second one, it's so much easier to do on the rod, this, Graeme, but
yeah.
Basically I'll show you. You clip your second one on, maybe if you could hold it, yeah. And important, this cascade here, it doesn't go into any holes, it just goes into the cascade. No holes, nothing like that. The third one, because it's got the spring on, you're able to pull that down quite easily to go over there.
So the spring's only on the top one, Tony?
Spring's only on the top one. A lot of guys use springs on all of them, but it's expensive. So they'd get too expensive if we'd done that. Sorry, I'll just put that on there again for you. Can you hold it tight?
Yeah, want it tight. It's always better to do it tight with the rod, isn't it?
So much easier.
Much easier.
Rod. It's very difficult on here because you can't see which way you're going. But if you keep that tight now, I'll pull the third one in. The spring takes the kick out of it. He's on there. Now if you hold it tight, give it back to me. Right, now that's pretty streamlined. So what I've done, the difference between this and the Whack-A-Noster, I found the Whack-A-Noster's great in rough weather, but I want catching treble shots of fish, and I found it a little bit harder. So what I've done, I've created a rig that's in the middle, slightly longer than the Whack-A-Noster, not too long that it's hard to cast. So it's a happy medium really, and obviously when it hits the water pressure will push off the impact shield. It pings off, nothing ever tangles. You can see that you'll never get a tangle, and always comes off every time with the water pressure. What you find is you use these bait clips, these fandangle bait clips, and you find you're reeling and your clip's still on the, it's basically still clipped on after you've been fishing to it. You don't want that. Anyway, pretty good rig. You've got £60 body, which is grease weasel. You've got crimps here, small beads and crimps each side. There's the cascade swivel, which is the important bit, which is you clip into. They're brilliant, they are. One of the best things ever devised for match angling. And you've got about a size 3 swivel on the top. What you do, you use one of these clips from this end permanently on your rod. So as you come through, that will clip into, I'm going to mess the trace up here now, but that will clip in to cast.
So that's on the end of your leader?
That's on the end of your leader.
Yeah.
That will clip in to cast, obviously not like this.
Straight on the swivel?
Yeah, and when you get it, you reel in with your fish on, you get rid of your fish, chuck your other one out as quick as you possibly can, don't mess about, get it out there, and then deal with your fish. While you're dealing with your fish, you'll catch more fish. By the time you've got your fish off, you look up again, your rod's going, and hopefully you've got another couple of fish.
Now that's a match technique, isn't it, Tony? Because I've seen a lot of guys go match fishing, they've got a bucket. They seem to drop the fish and the trace in the bucket, bait up, cast out again, and then sort the fish out.
Well, drop it in the bucket if you've got an eel, chuck out, come back, and then you've got time to sort it out. And you also then you bait your rig up again, and then by the time you've baited it up, you clipped it on your tripod, you're all ready to go then. So all you need to do is reel in, get your other fish and carry on.
What
and
about
it saves so much time because these fish come in, as you know, you might not be catching and you might get a lot of fish all together. So
Yeah.
as they come in all together, you're there, you're out there.
You're
Whereas I've
organised,
seen
yeah.
so many guys making 10 minutes to get everything out, you know.
Yeah. Well,
You've also got some stops on here, Graham. Can you see these?
yeah.
These are good because when you're putting a lug on, quite often it'll come up to here. Well, the fish don't know it's up there, so they'll come in the side, and you'll miss them.
You'll get a false bite.
You'll miss codling and everything because they're coming in there. They don't know where the end of the hook is. So with this, you can put your lugworm on. And if it's slightly too much, you can push it right down where you stop. And also, when you clip down, your bait gets pushed up the shank. Well, this stop will just stop it from going up the shank, which is nice. So they're one of the greatest things, these little stops on there. They're brilliant, they are.
And what hook have you got on there, Tony?
This is a Camasan B940. As you've seen in the past, I offset them. I haven't done that one. I can show you how to do it. I've got no pliers on me. But
no, you just tweak them, don't
basically,
you?
you just push it in a little bit. I can do it with my fingers, look. And then you just turn it a bit.
For better hooking, yeah?
Yeah, and what happens, can you see that offset on there now?
Yeah, just slightly
And
offset,
the
yeah.
big thing about it is that I was watching Richard Holgate the other day and he put this in a book. It's quite clever. And when you pull it through, if it's offset, you'll hook that and you'll pull all pages out that book when you close it, like that. And it'll pull it to bits.
It'll grip.
You put it in there without an offset. It just comes straight through.